Hello, everybody. It's Mark Ling here, and I've got with me an amazing guest. This guy, Keegan Mueller, has made over $50,000 several days as an affiliate. I think his average amount per day, you can correct me in a moment, Keegan, is somewhere over $30,000 per day in affiliate commissions, which is insane. And yet it all started out with small beginnings. Started out as one of our students doing the methods that we used to, well, we still do, but doing the methods where we promote affiliate products through Facebook ads, leading off to a website and earning commissions. But then he applied that formula, changed it a bit, learned a lot about copywriting and stuff like that from other sources too, and came up with a really unique approach that meant that he could make huge commissions promoting products from YouTube ads. So in the past, people used to find YouTube ads quite hard because they didn't want to get in front of the camera, or they didn't want to hire actors and stuff like that. And yet, if you did these slideshow videos, if you blew it up too far and you hadn't done anything about it other than just text on the screen, sooner or later, YouTube kind of didn't like that. So it was tricky. But now he's gone ahead and discovered a method where he uses automated software that automatically pulls in stock footage and builds the video for you. He's got a template approach that he follows that he's going to teach you guys today for writing the video scripts for the ads, simple landing pages that promote the affiliate offers, and it's using robot voices. He's got a perfectly fine voice himself, but he doesn't hit record on his own voice. He uses computer-generated voices so that he can easily and quickly make changes to video ads if he wants to, and so forth. Anyway, it's a very, very exciting approach, and it's one that he's already taught to 30 plus beta testers, most of whom are doing over $1,000 a day, some of them over $10,000 a day, and a couple of them have hit $50,000 plus days, like 50,000 in a day. It's almost unbelievable. So anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Keegan Mueller. Welcome along, Keegan.
Hey, Mark, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, so happy to have you here. It's super exciting. And, you've gone from nothing to being not only one of the top affiliates on all of ClickBank, but also one of the top affiliates at another network called MaxWeb. And, you're blowing it up elsewhere as well. How did you get from basically nothing to scaled up so high in such a short space of time?
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, it didn't I didn't start off doing 30K days, 50K days. I mean, I started off at a 9 to 5 job. I came into an affiliate marketing course. It was one of the ones you promoted, and I was at my job just really the only thing I knew was that I wanted to figure it out because I knew I didn't want to stay at my job. So I put everything I had into just perfecting the method on Facebook. And eventually, after 3 months, I was able to quit my job with just that training. So I kept going on from there, and there were some struggles with Facebook dealing with shutdowns and things like that. And I think my highest day on Facebook was a 2K day, but yeah, I kept going on from there and gradually building it up.
Fantastic. And then, though, you had this brainchild of an idea to get over onto YouTube, and you started making these automated videos using robot voices. What made you comfortable with using a computer generated voice rather than, say, hitting record with your own voice or getting a voiceover artist? What made you go, yeah, no, I'm happy enough with computer generated voices and spending my money on ads that are just read out by a machine?
Yeah, so I think they say like a lot of great innovations come from people looking for the fastest route. And that was kind of what this was. I was making so many videos with my own voice, not me going on camera, but I was using my own voice. And after a while, that it just becomes cumbersome. You're always trying to get your voice perfect and you're editing it. And I don't think I have a great voice for going on ads. So one day I just started messing with those robot voices, and you can spin one up in 1 minute if you have your script. So I thought, why not try that on one of these ads? And it did much better than I thought it would. So that's how we are where we are.
I think what's really amazing is that these voices actually, they can sound rather realistic anyway, as long as you, one, pick the right voice, and two, you can muck with the intonation quite easily, just a little few tweaks here and there. I mean, I've noticed if I, some words, it'll sound a little weird, so I'll just split it up into two words, and then next thing you know, it sounds exactly right. Or I'll put a comma there, and they'll do the little pause that they kind of needed to do, and then it sounds right. You know, just little tweaks, not much. I'm talking 5-10 minutes. You probably, I'm guessing you must do just a little bit of massage to the voice.
Yeah, really. I mean, it is pretty simple. I mean, you're talking like a comma here, a comma there, and it sounds just like a human. So, yeah, so like you said, some voices don't sound exactly like a human, but I think that that could be part of why it converts so well. It's almost like a pattern interrupt, because people are wondering, people like start watching the video and they're like, is this a robot? Is it a robot or is this a human?
I guess it could be like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've always found though that good copy is the most important thing. It's more important than how good your voice sounds, even though that can help. It definitely can help, but good copy trumps everything. What is being written matters the most. I mean, even going back as far as back in the day when we used to have no video sales letters. Every website was a written sales page. And you could have it really poorly formatted, and it could have poor graphics, and it will outperform the pretty looking site that has looks amazing, but they don't have very good copy, because the words that are being spoken or the words that are written, that makes the biggest difference. And so many people anyway, they look at YouTube ads and they might not be quite listening intently, but because of automated software that generates those video ads for you, put stock footage in there and stuff like that, again, more AI technology, it shows the subtitles on the screen anyway. So people, even if they weren't listening to the robot, they'll be reading it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so it's my job really to grill you for, you know, the best that I can get out of you. And my thoughts were the best I can get out of you was for you to actually tell all of my students, everyone listening, maybe you could walk through the breakthrough of your 7-step method, because your 7-step method is gold. You follow this method and you write your script for your video ads, and you get the maximum click-throughs of the right kind of people, but you also kind of warm them up in order to actually get to your page and want to click through to the affiliate offer, and they're sort of warmed up that they want to watch the damn video sales letter that they're now taken to, as opposed to getting a whole bunch of blind clicks through who aren't the right people and they don't buy, or they're not warmed up enough. Like, you seem to have mastered this. So would you mind walking my folk through your 7-step method?
Yeah, that's not a problem. And yeah, like you said, it really does come down to the copy. So I've seen some videos that were horrendous. I mean, just robot voices that did not sound human in any way, shape, or form, and they didn't have the commas in there to make it sound more human. And so exactly what you're saying, the copy is king on these. So
you've seen those ones still make sales?
yeah, that was actually what really what really blew me away with this method and made me realize that yeah, these robot voices do work. Was one of my students, he's from Afghanistan, but then he lived in Russia for most of his childhood, so English is not his first language. And so he was using one of these female robot voices, and he went from zero days to 2K days to 4K days. And then he thought that he just wanted to see how far he could push it. And he had a decent credit card. So he maxed it out and hit a 32K day the day
Wow.
after. So it went from 4K to 32K day in one day. I didn't even think it was possible because I'd not seen that before. But
Well, I know with other advertising platforms like Facebook, you really got to spend weeks or even probably months to scale up to that level before they trust you with that much ad spend. So it's quite remarkable that YouTube, within their algorithm or whatever, they already know from the lower ad spend, enough people have seen this without complaining and all of this sort of stuff. We don't care if you want to spend, over $10,000 on ads in a day, you go for it, and bam, he made 30 something thousand back. That's incredible.
yeah, yeah. So I don't think there is a limit on Google. Like the only limit you have is just what your credit card is. So
Yeah, and I think it's because they are growing. Like there are more and more people viewing YouTube all the time. They had their record month last month. I think it was $7 billion was spent on advertising, and they're getting even more viewers on YouTube this month than last month. So it's I can see why it's so. It's the opposite of saturated right now on YouTube. It's quite a phenomenal thing at the moment with YouTube advertising. Maybe though. So that I don't keep going off track, how about we get into the seven
okay.
keys to writing a script that sells?
Yeah,
And how
yeah.
long
So
is the script as well before you start with the 7 points? Like how long does it normally go for? Like is it 20 minutes? Is it a 10-minute script? Like how long are these ads? Or are they 1 minute?
so yeah, so the shortest ad I've had that was a big winner was 55 seconds. So in general, my ads are about a minute and 30 seconds. So they're
Okay,
not long
90
at all.
seconds. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so just to go into what those 7 points are, and it just to explain like it how I came across this. I started on YouTube about 1 year ago. Yeah, it's August. It was right about 1 year ago. And I didn't know how to advertise on YouTube. No one knew how to advertise on YouTube. I'd taken some courses, but it wasn't it wasn't this. And so I was applying the Facebook style of copywriting to my ads on YouTube, the first person emotional copywriting. And for I just didn't know any other way to write copy because that's what
Hmm.
succeeded on Facebook. And eventually I started trying some other techniques, like third person authoritative copywriting, and those started doing well, and I just kept going down that path. So it took me about 3 months of testing a ton, probably 30 videos to figure this stuff out. So
You also got to remember that what's right for Facebook is partly it's to do with the algorithms, so that there's only certain styles that you can write in, or you might lose your ad account or something like that. And secondly, what works for Facebook is someone's viewing a news feed. They're already chatting with their friends. They're in a first person state as it is. People are talking to them first person, like they're messaging on Messenger. They're in a news feed. They're commenting on friends' posts. It's different than someone that's on YouTube who is watching videos. So it's a different state they're in and a different level of concentration. So it's not entirely surprising to me that the methods, I bet there are certain commonalities. There's always certain commonalities in human psychology, but it's not surprising that it's not exactly like precisely the same.
yeah, so I mean, just talk about commonalities and to go into what these points are. So, like you said, there's 7 points on this.
Okay,
Uh,
so what's number one? What are you starting with?
yeah, so number one, like you were just talking about, there are commonalities. Number one is just your pattern interrupt. So everyone who watches YouTube, they know that you have 5 seconds of watching whatever terrible ad that is that usually shows up before you can skip it. So we have 5 seconds before we have 5 seconds to get their attention and prevent them from clicking skip ad. So that's point number one. And in that first point, you're usually qualifying the audience, and it's almost like a early call to action in terms of what your ad's about. So like an example of that, I have some notes over here, so that's what I'm reading
Yeah,
from.
yeah, go for
But
it.
this could be on Facebook, we would use a very weird image. So that did transfer very well to YouTube. We use very weird or gross or seemingly gross images or
So,
videos.
so it's it's not just about the copy. It's especially the first 5 seconds. It's the image as well, right? So that first 5 seconds, what they see and what they hear. It's a bit of both, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. So the first 5 seconds, you're usually going to have a weird video or weird image paired up with your robot voice saying something. Like an example that we've used before that did very well was just, have you heard about this weird tonic that helps you shred belly fat within 24 hours? So if someone's
Can you repeat
not
that phrase again? I want to break this down. Sorry, just for a sec. Can you
okay,
repeat that phrase?
have you heard about the weird tonic that helps you start shredding belly fat within 24 hours?
Okay, so you've got in there weird tonic, right? So that's already that's already like a picture, like it's almost like a curiosity point, right? So you've got a curiosity point that shreds belly fat. That's a benefit, right? Within 24 hours, it's even bigger benefit. So you're basically saying, and that's a hook, like a tonic that does this, like a thing that does this. So I'm just trying to break it down. Like, so basically, one way or another, you're trying to grab their attention with curiosity while also saying, there's a thing that does this. Like, what's in it for me is getting answered within those 5 seconds, at least the short version of it.
Yeah, exactly. So just there in that first 5 seconds, you have the pattern interrupt, a weird tonic. And if I mean, 50% of the population probably would be interested in losing weight. So they're likely going to want to hear about whatever this weird tonic is that is going to help them lose weight, especially within 24 hours.
Okay. And that's not seen as too big a promises, like as far as YouTube's concerned. I know with Facebook, it would be too big a promise to make in a video ad, but YouTube, it's not.
Yeah. So you can get away with a lot on YouTube. That's one of, like you just said, YouTube's still growing rapidly. So I think YouTube right now is where Facebook was 4 years ago in terms of their policies and how strict they are.
Yeah, I'm guessing that well, I've seen anyway. There's limits to it. You can't, because they're pretty good at saying no. These are outlandish promises if you carry on, and that's all you're doing in your copy. But I know that's not all you're doing. But it's certainly, by the looks of it, it seems to be vital. Like that first 5 seconds, it's more vital than any other part of the copy, isn't it? Like getting that right person through seeing the rest of the video. Because if you don't, then YouTube, they can't just tell from people that click on your ad. They're also looking at who's viewing your ad. And if you're getting a whole bunch of the wrong kind of person viewing your ad because they find it entertaining, then they're also going to show it to them too. And then that's going to lose you money. But because you've stated the benefit within those first 5 seconds, people that don't want that benefit are going to click skip ad, and people that do want it carry on watching.
Yeah, exactly. And then also a lot of people don't even know this, but on YouTube, you don't get charged unless someone watches 30 seconds of your ad. So that's a phenomenal point for us, just because you call the person out in the first 5 seconds, and the people who aren't interested are going to click skip. So we don't pay for those people, those views.
I think it's important to just quickly note to people, we're calling them out based on what kind of benefit they want, not based on who they are. So if you were to write a bit, because I just know from YouTube's policy, if you were to say something like, are you over 50 and suffering from diabetes? They'll flag that and they'll take your ad down, because it's almost like you're psychic and you know who they are, right? Whereas this is more like, are you wanting this benefit? It's not saying, are you over 50 with brown hair and blue eyes? And you're not psychic about them. So you're calling out the market in a way that seems like we don't actually know who we're advertising to, like less creepy.
Yeah. So on Facebook, that would 100% get you shut down. But even though, according to Google's policies, that generally isn't accepted, if you read their policies, I've seen what you just said approved, almost word for word what you just said.
I'd seen it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to disagree much with you, because you know everything about all of this. It's more like I saw this come in only a week ago, like their updated policy, and I have definitely seen it get flagged since then, where people use it in at the start of the videos. People have been getting away with it late. I don't know. You could be right though. Maybe it's something though that you may not want to do in your first video if you're going to test that out, like calling out
absolutely.
a person versus a benefit. You know, like obviously you know way more than me, so I'm more than happy to go with your lead on that though. I mean, that's the thing. It's new, and how do they really tell anyway? It's an algorithm a lot of the time. So
yeah, but like you just said, I mean, when you're first getting started, you don't want to push the limits. You want to start off with stuff that's more likely to get approved.
Well,
So.
you get away with more when you're the guy that's spending 10,000 a day on ads. You know, your account is already probably in a better status than the guy that's never spent $1 on ads before. So I guess that's handy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's step one though. Unless have I missed anything, or should we move from the skip stopper to the, which is your pattern interrupt?
Yeah. So no, that's pretty much all for step one. So yeah, just to repeat, step one is visual and audible. So there's two components of that just to get them to not skip. So then point two is we're telling them what's in it for them. And sometimes this is combined with that first step. So in that example I gave, that was combined. So it's talking about shred belly fat.
But you could carry that on, I guess, with more of what's in it for them if you'd done that, or would you just, that's enough one sentence?
Yeah. So in that example I just gave, you can elaborate on that, but in that example, I would probably just keep it because that pattern interrupt and what's in it for them are both combined. I mean, a weird tonic that helps you lose weight. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So then,
but in some cases, if people have an extra sentence or two, like let's say it also gives you more energy and balances your gut or something, you could say something like that as well.
Yeah, you can add in another piece. It really just depends if you covered it in that first part. Yeah.
Okay. And then we're on to step three.
Yeah. So step three is you're aggravating their pain or providing solution. So we did kind of do that in step one. Sometimes you will do that. You can talk about belly fat, but that's not really poking their pain. So in terms of poking their pain, you could say something like, if you don't watch this, you're going to waste another 10 years and lose countless dollars or something like that. So in terms of yeah, with weight loss, you can definitely say that.
I get it. So like you could say, is it unreasonable to expect that you should still be able to fit into the same size jeans that you could fit into 3 years ago? I'm just making something up there. It might not be perfect, but just something that's their pain point, because someone that's gained weight, they hate the fact that they own clothes that they can't fit into, that they fitted into a couple of years ago. They hate that. So that is a pain point.
Yeah, exactly. Or something
bringing
like
that back up, and you're not doing it in a way to make them feel bad. What you're doing is putting them back in that state that they already feel at a certain time during the day anyway. It's just that you're putting them back in it so that they're primed and ready and kind of wanting to look for the solution now.
Yeah, exactly. So another example of that would be saying, are you tired of people looking at you when you're eating? Like if overweight people, if they're out and they want to have dessert, I mean, that's a pain point. Are you tired of not being able to wear bikini on the beach or take your shirt off at the beach, whatever it is? So
I get it. Yeah.
Just poking that pain to keep them drawn into our video. So then point number 4, we're going into a new opportunity, or we combine that with social proof. So an example like we just gave with the weird tonic, we could throw something onto that weird tonic and say, this weird tonic is unlike anything ever discovered before because it combats the root cause of weight loss, which happens to be blank, whatever that mechanism is. So because everyone has heard weight loss videos before and that sort of thing, so we have to tell them what's different about this.
And the offer itself, you'll be able to find out what's different about it by looking either at the affiliate resources, because it'll be mentioned there, like in their email swipes, or you'll be able to watch their sales letter for it, and you'll be able to note that down. Okay, here's a few bits of things about this, and you just grab that from there, and that's what you use as your statement about what's unique about it.
Yeah, so our job's pretty easy because a lot of these offers have email swipes that have been written by professional copywriters. A lot of these vendors pay $50,000 for a copywriter to write their VSL, video sales letter, their offer, and then their email swipes. So we can go and look at their email swipes and pull out those unique points. And in every product you look at, it has these unique points. So our job is just to pull those out.
Fantastic. Okay, so that was point number 4, was it?
Yeah, that was point number 4.
And sometimes some of these offers, they may, if it was weight loss anyway, it may have had some sort of discovery or some sort of science behind it. So I guess you could add, you could be mentioning that as well, or something like that in there, like some study was done or researchers have recently discovered blah, 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 and then you're able to pull that out of the copy and put that in there in your script.
Yeah, so that really kind of combines with point number 5, which is establish authority. So in that point, we're going to say, if it's true, we're going to say researchers from blank university, from Harvard University, discovered that this unique mechanism helps people lose weight, or this unique mechanism regrows teeth and gums. That's one of the offers that I've ran pretty successfully, was a mouth offer.
Right. Yeah. And for people that think, hey, that sounds scammy, you can't regrow teeth and gums, I'll just mention that just because these are actually very, very good offers that have, that have a lot of good testimonials and so forth. Half the people that are over 55, they brush their teeth every day. They brush their teeth every day, and yet they still end up with rotting teeth because they eat too much acidic food. So you can actually take minerals via supplements that will refortify your teeth and gums in those situations. You can't take a supplement to regrow teeth that are rotted due to tartar because someone doesn't brush their teeth, but you can totally, 50+% of people that their teeth are rotting, it's not because they don't brush their teeth. So that's where things like this work. These aren't scammy offers. These are offers that are genuinely full of great ingredients and stuff like that. If it's a supplement, obviously, you can do this promoting info products, you can do it promoting software, you can do this promoting anything. But if you're promoting a supplement like you're referring to, we're looking at some pretty well-tested offers that are standing the test of time. So that's really good.
Yeah, and plus on that offer I'm talking about, just to give some data behind it, it has a 90-day refund period, and I've been running it for months now, and my total refund rate is 2.5%. So people would be returning it if they weren't seeing some benefit to their gums.
No. I mean, I've heard of supplement offers with refund rates as high as 30%. So if you've got a bad supplement, that's the refund rate. But that's not what happens here with these offers, which is fantastic. Okay, so that's step number 5, though. So you add authority. So the authority is going to be done in different ways. That authority could be a research. It could be that that they've had a certain number of customers. Like you might be like, oh, so how many customers have you had? Oh, with 37,500. You go, oh, okay, so 37,500 people have already taken the plunge and used product name, or not product name, used this weird tonic to, and then whatever benefit is they're using it for. Like you'd be able to, I guess, do something like that. There's always a way of adding some sort of authority.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
It's a testimonial even.
Yeah, testimonials, the social proof that comes into authority, and it helps boost the credibility of your ad. But also this established authority point is probably the main point I was missing out last year when I was first testing YouTube, because I was using that first person story based, this was my problem, this is where it was fixed, instead of using that third person professional voice, the professional copy that speaks from authority. So like you said, it's from different angles you establish authority.
Yeah, and it's different too. In a news feed, people, even though it says sponsored ad, they don't always notice it's sponsored. They almost feel like it's a person talking to them. YouTube, it's an ad.
Yeah.
So they're paying money for this ad. It almost seems suspicious if you don't come across as a credible authority in some way. So it makes sense what you're saying. Like, don't just start out as though you're just some guy that's just recording some random video off their iPhone. It just doesn't. It's different. It's not kind of the pattern that works, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Unless you're Ty Lopez.
Totally. But his look, they still look pretty, like you can tell that some
Oh
production
yeah,
gone
yeah.
into those. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. So that's point. Wait a minute. So basically, you've done the pattern interrupt slash qualifying the audience.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
start, you've got the what's in it for them was number two. Number
Hmm.
three, you had aggravate the pain slash provide a solution.
Yeah.
So show them that there's a solution there for it. And then you had the new opportunity, like present the new opportunity with some social proof. And then you had establish authority. So that's
Yeah.
five. So we're up to number six out of
Yeah.
seven.
So number six is the value perception. So number six is that's where we're more saying don't waste another 10 years and thousands of dollars on solutions that don't work when you could start feeling better today or tomorrow. So that's where we're setting our product up on a pedestal compared to the other things that they've seen before. So, and with that, you can, yeah, yeah,
So basically making them realize that the solution that they would have thought that they had to go to, they know it's going to cost you this much. Whereas this solution, it's just as valuable as this, maybe even more, but it's probably only going to cost you this much
yeah. And with that, we're kind of, in many
without having to say the
cases,
price.
yeah, in many cases, you can compare whatever it is that you're selling to existing mainstream products. So many of the things that we sell are these supplement offers. So in many cases, you can say, don't take those prescription drugs, don't go to the doctor. And I mean, because you're going to deal with all those side effects. And uh, in many
Yeah.
cases, they don't even work. So
Yeah, but
what
you
this
don't have to
is,
say the words "don't go to the doctor." By the way,
no,
either do
no,
you? You would
yeah,
normally
yeah,
say, you'd normally say something like no more. Imagine no more having to pay thousands of dollars in regular bi-weekly medical bills or something like that, or and seeing or doctors are running scared because this new method is costing them thousands of dollars or something like that, I guess, because in that
yeah,
way you're also
yeah.
saying you're saving money from not having to pay for this because this is cheaper without having to say this is cheaper, I guess.
Yeah. And you can also say, I mean, for example, like a hair loss product was don't use any more hair gel serums that don't actually work. So, and then also there's prescription medications for that. So you're saying uh, forget those. Just you don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's fantastic as well. And okay, so you're basically building up the perceived value of the benefit that they're getting, not so much the product that's going to get sold. It's more like they kind of know that this problem would normally cost a lot to solve. It's quite a difficult one. Like you don't have, not say, you wouldn't say the word Weight Watchers because that's a brand name, but essentially they're not going to have to go on some diet for some diet that they have to pay a monthly fee for or anything like that. They're not going to have to spend thousands of dollars on specialist foods and stuff like that. It's the comparison is and it's not always a dollar value as well. It's a time value or an effort value too, I guess, because you could easily say this works without having to spend thousands of hours slaving away at the gym. That,
Yeah.
yeah, there's costs involved at being at a gym, but it's more the thousands of hours doing exercise that people don't want.
Yes, a sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what's the last bit?
So the last point of those seven steps, it's the final call to action, the main call to action. and we can establish urgency with that. So many times we'll say, we don't know how long this video will stay up, or yeah, that's the biggest one you're going to use, is we don't know how long this video will stay up. Click the link below to discover the most powerful gum rejuvenating secret on the planet, something like that.
And then you have a little countdown timer for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, so we put that
people
there
on the like, oh crap, I better click the link.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they watch your ads and they're just mesmerized in the message, and they get to the end and it just stops. So you add a little countdown on the end so that more people click through.
That's fantastic. Okay, so you've given us this blueprint. Now I know that with your students and stuff, they've got fill in the blanks templates that make this stuff so easy. Several different, like dozens of options for each segment out of these 7 segments. You've got, there's literally hundreds of offers that convert well to promote. In fact, that dental product that you're telling me about, it was number 150 something on all of ClickBank, and you decided to promote it. And now it's, at least at the time of recording, it's number 3 on all of ClickBank. So you've taken it from way down there. It's not like you just picked one of the top offers and decided, right, I'm going to jump in. You picked an offer from way down here, and this still works. This is clearly working, and it's obviously worked with a lot of other offers that are already at the top, offers that are in the middle, with the students. So it's it's a bit of a phenomenon really that is well and truly undersaturated.
Yeah, and with that dental product, we had some fun with it because they ran a contest last month, and it just ended 10 days ago. And our group that we trained up on this, we took first place, second place, third place, and then we took 2 or 3 of the top 10 places below that. So
wow,
we proved it out on that offer.
No, but that's awesome. That's part of the fun of it too. Now you're going to run a training session coming up. We'll put the link below this video, where people are going to get to see a little bit more of the step-by-step and stuff like that that's involved in this. I know that you're going to take on a group of students too, very shortly. May even be by the time people are watching this video, although I'm probably going to release it before that you open the doors to that, and you're going to just take a limited group of students in on that. So when they come in and join the webinar, though, that coming up, the free training, what are some of the reasons why they should join that?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the biggest things is, like I said, right now YouTube feels like the Wild West. So a lot of people missed out on Facebook 4 years ago. So that's what YouTube feels like right now. So anyone who I've talked to and I've brought into this group and they've been able to get success, that was one of the things I told them initially was, it's kind of like a gold rush. And I mean, this is a big business. It's a real business. And once you get it up and going, it's fairly passive. So I've had some campaigns that have been running for 10 months straight now, profitably every single day. So that's what we're talking about.
I think also, though, you got to look and say YouTube is going to be the number one for a long time, I think, as far as video ads and stuff. So it's likely to be quite big for a long time, not just 4 more years. And Facebook, though, I'm still making good money with Facebook, thousands a day. However, it is harder than it was 4 years ago. It doesn't mean it's gone. So you could be running this business model today. You get in now, well, it's absolutely the best time probably in the history of YouTube to get into this stuff. If you're doing well, you're going to find that you're still going to be doing well in 4 years. You will learn and adapt with the changes as they come. You're not going to just go, oh, it's got a bit harder, I'm giving up now. Not when you're making, thousands of dollars a day. You'll probably just go roll with the punches, I guess. And that's why people want to be part of a community with a guy like you that's always sort of leading the way and able to tell people what to do next anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think this is going away anytime soon. It's just like you said, it's gonna keep evolving. So right now, I'm sometimes dumbfounded with some of these videos that just hit massive days, and it won't be this easy forever. So
No, but certainly with the amount of advertising spots coming up all the time, because more and more people are on YouTube at the moment. Like it's got like 8 times as many people look at YouTube than what look at, say, Netflix, stuff like that, and it's growing because they're getting better and better quality content on their channels and so forth. So there's certainly more than enough opportunities for advertisers, I guess, and that's that's pretty exciting. And there's a lot of offers, hundreds of them. So please, I highly recommend you guys join us for our workshop. We're going to have the link below this video. It's coming up very, very shortly. I really can't wait to bring this to you guys. And is there anything else quickly that you want to share before we wrap up this particular call, Keegan?
no, I mean, yeah, I would just encourage people to watch that workshop as well, especially if they don't have experience with YouTube before. They've thought that to get into YouTube, you'd have to be on video yourself or use your own voice. It's magical.
I think I will just really quickly just drop a little hint as well that your targeting, it's so wide on YouTube that it's phenomenal that and people will discover this on the webinar anyway, but you don't actually have to get pinpoint with your targeting because the algorithm is so smart. And it's not just, that's why I said about that skip stopper part so important, because YouTube learns very quickly, not just from the people that go and buy products from you. You don't have to go make 100 sales for the YouTube to figure out, the kind of people that this advertiser needs are, say, I'll just make up something, are people who are aged 40 to 52 who earn between $30,000 and $70,000, who live in a town with less than 300,000 people in it, or whatever. I'm just making up a number here. You don't have to make like 1,000 sales for YouTube to figure that out. YouTube figures it out because they can see how long people are watching the videos. And they have 500 plus data points on each person that comes into YouTube and watches stuff. Like, they know so much stuff that about each person that we can't possibly hope to understand, like how they got that data. And they figure things out relatively quickly. So your targeting is so wide that, because I think that's a fear for some people. They're like, far out, am I going to have to target people that are into yoga, but I have to exclude people that are into Pilates? I have to target people that are into certain types of podcasts that I haven't heard of, or they know this author, Suzanne Summers, or they know that. It's not like that at all. The targeting is so broad. So you're going to find that that's why a whole lot of newbies have had such huge success with this. So anyway, I just thought I'd just drop that hint. There's more coming up in the workshop. I can't wait to have you on board again, Keegan, for the workshop coming up.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I look forward to doing it.
All right, guys. So take action with what you learned. I hope you've taken a whole heap of notes, and make sure to join us for this exciting workshop. It's not every day that you get to learn from a guy that makes over $30,000 a day in affiliate commissions, and many days has done over 50,000. It's absolutely phenomenal. So, and several of his students also having multiple $1,000 and even over 10,000, and his top ones over 50,000 a day. And that's from a group of only 30 people. So, it's absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, join us for the workshop. Thanks, Keegan. I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the call.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
All right, take action with what you learned, guys, and we'll see you over on the workshop. Bye for now.